Hi, I'm Rae.
And I'm Nez, and welcome back to the Unstable Podcast.
Let's get into it.
All right, so today's topic is just going to chit chat about how we became friends and pretty much how we got to where we are today, right?
Yeah.
Like friendship wise.
Like we said, it's been almost 10 years.
Almost 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Phew. Wow.
You all right?
Wow.
Tired of me yet?
You know what they say. If a friendship lasts 10 years, it's highly likely that it'll last forever.
All right, so we're going to go back to the year of
2015.
2015, our sophomore year
Yes.
of college.
Yes.
Mhm.
Because.
Why did we start our sophomore year, Janess?
Because I was at a different institution my freshman year
Mm-hmm.
and decided to transfer for various reasons. But transferred to CU Boulder.
Go Buffs.
Go Buffs. And I think initially I was concerned because where I was before was a little more diverse. Transferred to CU and was like, oh my gosh, it's a PWI. I don't know what the vibe is going to be like. How am I going to find my people? And I just happened to find my people. You know what I'm saying? And we weren't particularly that close, like throughout all of college. I would say we didn't really start to get close until like the last semester of senior year.
Mm-hmm. Now we hung out in
Yes.
the same groups,
Yeah.
because we were in fact student athletes.
Yes.
So we hung out in the same groups, but we weren't close. And then
Mhm.
senior year, we lived in the same apartment building.
Yes. But yeah, we didn't start to get closer until then. And then towards the end of that year, I decided that I was going to transfer again. Not surprising at all. And we kind of really didn't know what the future had for us friendship wise because it was like we were starting to get close. Like it very easily could have gone like, oh, that's just my friend from college, and then like bye. But I think what really solidified it was that summer after we graduated. I was like, let's do a girls' trip. Invited some people from school, including Rajon, to my house, my parents' house, in just outside of Philly, and that was like a summer trip. And after that, thick as thieves.
See, I had the blessing of having a sister-in-law who flies those big old airplanes.
Shout out her.
And
Shout out her.
I
Shout
was
out.
just shout out to her.
Shout out to her.
I was just flying. Philly. And at the job I had at the time, 12-hour shifts 3 times a week. So I could be off for 10 days straight.
Yeah.
Receiving my what was then a full check.
Full check.
So yeah, we got real close, and then we've been talking every day.
Pretty much. Like there was maybe a couple months in there where like we didn't really talk that much. But then once we got on the everyday vibe, it just became like
codependent.
Absolutely. Now if we don't talk to each other today, somebody's cussing the other one out.
Yeah, like where are you? What are you doing?
Are you alive?
So, yeah. That's how it started. And now I'm literally adopted into the family.
Very much so.
Like I have my Philly mother and father.
Yes.
Her siblings are now my siblings, and vice versa. So yeah, it just took off from there, I think. And our families are we're very family oriented.
Yeah.
I think that's a huge quality in our relationship.
Yes.
Because we go to the family reunions.
Yes. She came to our last one.
You've been to 2 of mine.
I've been to 2 of hers. I'm trying to go to the next one. We're gonna see if scheduling permits. But yeah, I would say we have been accepted into each other's families as if like it's giving sister from a different mister. That's what it's giving.
Yeah. Whoever that man is. But I really feel like we balance each other out in our relationship. I've always said, or maybe I haven't always said, but we've come to the conclusion that we're two opposite sides of a spectrum.
Of the same coin, though.
I
would
said
say
spectrum, you said coin. So I think you say different sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
But I was saying we're opposite sides
ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
you know what I meant.
So yeah, so I'm very emotional. I like to cry. I do. I like to cry. I don't like to, but it comes down to me in salty water form.
Yeah.
You know? And for a while, my boundaries weren't the best. I've learned, I've grown. Again, this has been 10 years of a relationship, friendship, you know? Well, my friend over here, she's real soft on the inside.
Like way down on the inside.
If you get in there,
yeah,
she's real soft. But on the outside, she be a little. And if you're listening to this podcast, she's over here. If you can't see us right now, she's flexing her muscles.
Yeah,
she works out. Okay?
Yeah. You know what it's giving? It's giving them strong men. You remember the episode of SpongeBob?
What happened?
Where SpongeBob and Patrick trying to get into, what is it, the salty spittoon or whatever the hell?
Yeah, but they're not allowed because they're not big enough.
They needed to go over to Weenie Hut Jr.
I'm the Weenie Hut Jr.
I was the bodyguard at the salty spittoon.
And I own Weenie Hut Jr. Okay. If you're a weenie, we're going to block that one out. We're going to block that out.
My fellow Weenie Hut Juniors.
Yeah.
I think the point is, I think that is why our friendship works so well, because like, I feel like sometimes if I was to be super emotional as well, I feel like it might not work so well. That's sometimes. But I also think it allows us to have balance, like within like how we operate as individuals, because she be telling me, look, sometimes you need to soften up a little bit, like be nice, be calm, you know, show a little more emotion in that scenario, that setting.
She reels me in and I reel her out.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
I think that's a good way.
Because sometimes I gotta be like, hey, friend, you know,
put your foot
tighten
down.
up.
Yeah.
Tighten up.
I'm like, yes, ma'am.
You're right. Thug tear.
Just one. But yeah, I think we've learned a lot from each other. I think that's been a beautiful benefit of it all. Oh, I know I was going to tell him. I got the OCD. She got the ADHD.
Heavy.
Okay.
Heavy on it.
And not undiagnosed. Actually, mine's undiagnosed. Hers is diagnosed.
Mine's straight up diagnosed.
But I'm going to go ahead and diagnose myself. That's another way. She got a little chaos. I got a little structure.
Organized chaos. But it's chaos. Nonetheless, a lot of structure. More than a little.
So yeah, it's a balance. She like to spend money. I like to save it.
I'm gonna spend the dollars, okay? My idea, my thought process is somehow, some way, the money is gonna come back. It's gonna come back. But you know what? You're not gonna get this time, these years of your life back. But the money's gonna come back. And that's how I live my life. Now, do I delude myself sometimes? Be like, I deserve this because the money's gonna come back? Yes. But overall, buy the trip. Go on the excursion. You know, the time is not coming back, but the money, it will. It's gonna come back. It will. It's a mindset.
Because we're not even at our peak yet.
No.
We're still working towards goals.
We're not at our peak.
You know, so the money can only get better from here. God
Absolutely.
willing. God willing.
Absolutely.
Amen. A huge part of why we're here as well is this is a very safe space for me.
Yeah. Ditto.
Okay. There are some very raw conversations me and this woman have together. And I think that trust, of course, had to be built over time. And it is here. Okay. And we use it frequently.
Yeah.
Often, daily. On the struggles, on the successes, of the insecurities, the confidences. I think that's the right word. So I think when it comes to the podcast and the conversations we'll have, my hope is the vulnerability and the trust we have can be seen through these conversations, not just in our individual time, but hopefully just translates over, if it's a podcast, if it's, social media. Because we're definitely the girls.
Period.
So
girls
that's my biggest
over
hope
here.
for this podcast.
Yeah.
What about you? Do you have any hopes?
I think it's very similar to what you're saying, but I feel like it's very rare. I mean, not everyone feels as strongly about their family as I feel about mine. And I have a very, very, very good connection with my sister. Shout out Jada.
Sister
Shout
J.
out Jada.
Sister J.
But I feel like a lot of times people don't really find that outside of their family. If they find that in their family at all. So I feel like sometimes people find it difficult to connect with others and have a safe space that they can have a girls conversation, and nobody's going to judge them, and nobody's going to go run and tell somebody else behind their back and talk about them, that kind of thing. So I just hope that with us being vulnerable and sharing some of the conversations that we have, that others feel like they can do that with some of their friend groups. So I think that's my hopes and goals for the podcast. And also that we can just have a good time, and y'all can have a good time with us.
We're trying to laugh.
One thing I'm gonna do is laugh. Okay.
Kiki. You know.
So I think that's really my main goal, is just to, and if someone doesn't feel like they can have that safe space, we could be the safe space. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah.
Like, just bring them into the safe space we got going on over here, because
we've literally had to do that in our real lives.
Yes,
there were some things that went on, and we just had to
come on, baby,
come on over here.
Feel like
it's
somebody
safe
auntie.
right here. Yeah, you're gonna stay with us, because over there,
not so right for you.
So, and it worked out phenomenal, and we worked through that challenge. So
yeah.
Hopefully, this could just be another space to do so.
Yeah. When I think back to when we met, it's not like this whole big, profound, like, oh my God, we're going to be best friends forever. Like, no, I think it was more so like a slow burn friendship, honestly.
I think that speaks a lot to, like, relationships, though. Like,
that's true.
You can't always expect people just to be everything all at once. Like, you really got to put yourself out there to get to know somebody.
Right.
And I think authentically that happened with you. It wasn't like it was consciously on my mind.
Right.
I think it was just, a space maybe both of us created for one another, then it just naturally developed. I think sometimes we try to force stuff.
Yeah. And we expect, like, oh, she's going to be my best friend. Like,
no.
That's a heavy title to put on someone, like to even say that someone is a friend more than an acquaintance. I think people kind of use that a little too much, a little too interchangeably.
Yeah.
So to call someone a best friend, like, you have to have been through some stuff. Not necessarily like argue with each other and been through like bad stuff between y'all, but like been through different phases of life together. And I feel like it's kind of like that with relationships too. Like,
that's what I'm saying. I think some of the foundational or key points that I have with you is like I look for in friendships or like in partners. And when I say that, just like the safety, being authentically myself, saying things without it feeling like, oh my gosh, this person's going to be angry, I'm going to upset them for just speaking the truth. Or even when we're in conflict, it rarely has that happen because I think we just talk through things.
Right.
But if we were ever in conflict, I don't think it would be like a stonewalling situation where like I could argue with you and we'd get over it.
Right.
Our families would make us get over it, honestly, of how they see us operate. And it's that close at this point where I could there aren't many things that could really
where I'd be like,
God willing.
Right. It would have to be
some catastrophic
stuff. Yeah.
And I think the people we wouldn't allow that to happen. I think that catastrophic stuff would be things that would step us outside of our morals or our values, which, again, God willing, because we're human. I know we're human, but it's not something I'm so
concerned about
or would knowingly put myself or you put yourself in risk to do.
Right.
Where we would harm one another.
Right.
So,
yeah.
And now we're in a space of really committing to a friendship that's long distance. Just makes it a whole nother level of putting in that work. So
shout out healthcare. Shout out healthcare. But that's the story of our friendship, truly. And that's how we got here. Kind of a roadmap into maybe some future conversations that we'll have on here. Give you an idea of what level we get to, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Anything else to add?
No, I think this podcast is going to be fun. It's going to be a little bit of trial and error as we learn and develop. But hey, that's how life goes.
Bear with us.
Stable and unstable. We work through it and have fun in the process. So just another way to bond.
Yes.
In our long distance friendship.
Yes.
But no, that's it. I'm excited and can't wait to see what's to come of it.
We're gonna transition to a segment called Tea Time. Tea time.
Yeah, you go first.
And tea time, we're gonna have questions. We're gonna have 2 questions at the end of every episode that we ask each other. It might be to answer about yourself. It might be to answer about the other person. Just to kind of, go a little deeper. And then, maybe you can bring these questions to your friendships, your relationships, and get to know someone a little better. So, yeah.
Here we go.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
All right. So
I didn't look at it.
Don't look at my stuff. Don't look at my stuff. All right. So your question is, what is something you know you'll accomplish no matter how many people tell you can't?
What is something I know I'll accomplish no matter how many people tell me I cannot? It's like I'm in a pageant. You know how they repeat the question?
Use it in a sentence.
Well, my answer to that is
world peace.
World peace. Oh my gosh. I think this is already in the works, but I think it's already in the works. Becoming a licensed therapist.
Okay.
I think that's already in the works. And also being the best I can be in that, but I hope it's not just to be a average therapist. I hope to excel or make it like if it's my calling at this point, God willing, again, that I fulfill that to the furthest extent that I can.
Yep.
Because I remember there was some point in undergrad where I was highly encouraged to get a business degree because there weren't a lot of Black women, mixed minority women, however you like to frame it.
That's unfortunate.
Reminder, see you older.
You're right. PWI.
And it was highly encouraged to go the business route. But my question to that individual was like, do you like your job? And that person said yes. And I said, well, I want to like mine too. So I've committed since undergrad to be in the field of psychology. I have my 2nd degree. Don't know about a 3rd, but
you should get the 3rd.
Anyways,
join me
to be a licensed therapist. My goal is to help student athletes, but also venture into working specifically with women, which I'm already doing right now. But I think that outside of that, it would be becoming a mom.
Woo! Wow. Beautiful.
I don't have any votes against that, but that is a goal. Little babies.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. If you were to kill me, how would you do it?
Just kidding. Let's do a different one. Let's do this. Did you hear that? She want me to go to jail. Because I'm the first person they finna look at if she
and I need y'all to know how she was gonna plan to do it. All right, here's one.
Okay.
What's your favorite memory of our relationship?
Favorite memory. I feel like you know the answer to this one already.
I don't. There's so many.
There are so many. But one that I will particularly shout out is the trip to New York City. Okay. Not just because it was like a 10 out of 10 trip. Like the activities we did were 10 out of 10. The food was great. The nightlife was great.
Wow.
Like where we stayed, how we got around, like everything was perfect.
It's the best trip I've ever had.
It was perfect.
It's the best trip.
But I think also is how strongly I feel about my birthday. I celebrate my birthday to the fullest of all extents that I can every year. and I will shout my friend out every time because one thing she gonna do, she gonna help me celebrate my birthday.
Oh yeah, got to.
And I like I said, I'm not really. I mean, one of my top love languages is gifts, but my number one is quality time. So people just showing up is quite often enough for me.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm gonna get on a flight, but I'm just gonna get there. I'm the
and
present.
That's it. That's all I needed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like right now.
See?
See? So, I would say that's one of our top memories.
Okay.
I wouldn't necessarily say it's. I have to think. There's a lot of them.
No, I think.
But it's one that comes to the forefront.
But I have to say, and this comes back to our friendship, why we just work sometimes. The trips we've planned.
Yeah.
One, we got the itinerary.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We know we're only eating 2 meals a day.
That's
because
it.
who's getting up at the crack of dawn after having a great night with your friends, right?
No.
We're eating brunch.
That's
we're eating
it.
Brunch. We're eating
dinner. Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna have a day first. We get in, we chill out. Okay.
Maybe one activity.
Maybe one. We're gonna shop around one of those days. Just go and explore. We're definitely gonna brunch. Probably in the middle day. Because who's gonna brunch on the last day? Nobody.
No, that's danger.
That is danger.
Yeah.
But then the following day, the last day, we recover, do a dinner.
Yes.
We
got the itinerary down.
Yeah. So at least for a 3 to 4 day trip, we got it down packed.
Yes.
Okay. And we also realized we don't need to do it with tons of people.
No.
Okay. 3 to 4.
3 to 4 is great.
2 minimum.
Yeah. Yeah. But 3 to 4?
Minimum. 3 to 4
perfect.
Is great. And yes, her birthday is very important to her. We went to Atlanta. We did New York.
Those were the big ones.
Those were the big ones because then she got all serious about her education and her career and stuff, and we had to slow down.
Whatever. Whatever. Shout out healthcare.
But yeah, again, sometimes the standard is are we traveling like I travel with my bestie? Because we got it figured out.
Right.
So, I've just got excited all over again thinking about New York.
When's the next one?
Oh, when's the next? The pizza. Oh,
everything.
The weather.
Everything.
Oh, wow. It was one of my best trips.
It was a great trip.
Remember you was dancing what's her face?
Oh, no. What's her name? I always get it wrong. Was it Lil' Kim?
No, not Lil' Kim. What's Lil' Kim?
Not Mary J.
I was thinking Mary J.
It's Lil' Kim.
I was thinking Mary J. Insert video.
That was a good one.
Can't wait till the next birthday. The next big one's going to be the 30th. I think we agree. We agree. We don't know how many years away.
You don't know when that is. Okay. But that's the next big one.
The 30th is the next big one. So yeah. Anywho,
that's it for tea time. Yeah, that's it for tea time.
Thanks for joining the Unstable Podcast.
Yes.
And we can't wait to get into it.
And see you next time.
And we'll see you next time.
Don't forget to subscribe, share,
One more time. Again, hiccups. Go ahead.
Don't forget to share, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your mama, tell your aunties.
Tell your aunties.
Tell whoever you want to tell.
Whoever. Just come join us.
And we'll see you next time.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.